Hey everyone, Alex coming at you here on a Saturday afternoon. I just wanted to come on and do a video, a tribute to a local record store here in Pomona, California that is closing its doors after almost 20 years in business. Pomona is about 10-15 minutes, basically the town just due south of me. I've been going to the store pretty much for the last 10 years, so about half of the time that it's been open. And since I moved here a few years ago to this area, it's pretty much kind of become my de facto local store. A store that definitely got a lot of notoriety a few years back through the documentary that Alex Rodriguez did. I think it was titled Record Safari, which is now the name of his new store in LA. So Alex, he was in charge of basically digging for the store when that documentary was filmed. 5-6 years ago. Like I said, he's then since moved on to do his own thing at Record Safari in LA. I think his loss had a big part in why the store is sort of closing down. To this day, I think the store still satisfies kind of my two main things that I look for in a record store. Number one, have interesting records, obviously, and that obviously will be different for everyone, but I think they have a pretty sort of interesting breadth of different genres and things, and about 90% of the records, maybe 80 to 90% are used. And the second criteria is fair pricing, and that's definitely another strength, another reason why it's sad to see them go, because they priced everything fairly and they paid you well and fairly for records that you traded in. I've sold probably close to 500 records over the years to Glasshouse. From what I understand, their last day open will be November 30th. So I went on a little dig today with Sherv. I'll share some of the video here before or after this, just to get one last dig in. They really didn't make many announcements. They just had a one post on Instagram saying that they would be closing, and there's no, as of right now, there's no sales. Doesn't seem to be really any incentive for them to liquidate their inventory. So everything's kind of business as usual. A little about the neighborhood, downtown Pomona, and I'll put a clip of that too, just to give you guys a flavor. But yeah, that's the downtown area is very arts oriented. There's an art college on that block. There's a couple of some art galleries. There is Noisebug, which is an incredible synthesizer store. I think I've shown that perhaps before. There's another record store around the corner. Some nice restaurants and bars, and there's a nice plaza where there's often art, food, music, live music. Today, as you'll see in the video, there's some kind of a Puerto Rican culture festival going on that they're setting up right now. So yeah, definitely a big loss to the local community. We'll see what they put in there. The employees didn't seem to know kind of what the future held for the shop. And again, Alex, for a long time was kind of the driving force. And so what I'm going to show here today is, some of my favorite finds over the years at Glasshouse, and then the record that I found today, digging there with Sherv. This is one of the ones I picked up today, and this is what's playing in the background. This is on Sublime Frequencies. I don't know what year it's from, but yeah, modern ethnographic field recording fantastic back shot there. I love the Adidas with the sort of health volunteer thing going on there. And yeah, as you can hear, it's so this is Guild Music of Ghana's Upper West region. So yeah, using this incredible gourd amplified marimbas. For lack of a better word, I'll have to read a little more about the names of the instruments here. But yeah, really a great label. Doing some really excellent modern ethnographic recordings. Another that I got along those lines was this record here, the Elephant Orchestra. This one is on Northern Spy Records. Yeah, another one I had, I was aware of. I was kind of looking for it. And yeah, it's exactly kind of what it shows there. I'll have to read more about it, but this is in the in Thailand. They have these this incredible orchestra where the elephants are actually playing a series of yeah, almost like a mini gamelan orchestra of sorts, but played by elephants. So yeah, I've sampled this before. I was kind of looking for it, like I said. I think there's like a 7-inch also. Yeah, it comes with I'm not sure what is on here. It comes with a nice 7-inch. Yeah, he gave me a nice deal on that. $5, I think. And then the last one I picked up today was also on my radar. This from 1981, 82. So this is a bunch of musicians that, you know, part of the New York 80s scene that I've talked about before. And a lot of these guys recorded with lovely music, like Peter Gordon, Blue Jean Turney's on here. Actually, Bill Laswell, I think, is on here as well. Ned Sublette, Dave Van Tighem. So yeah, a lot of those guys. And I think, yeah, George Lewis also on one track, which there's all the folks there. And I think, yeah, Reese Chatham on here as well. So don't know much about it. Just was kind of on my radar based on the personnel. So look forward to that. Yeah, hopefully Sherv does a video about, you know, he picked up at least 10 records, so he did pretty well. A bunch of stuff I already had, and some other stuff. So anyway, so these are some of the my favorite finds here at Glasshouse over the last 10 years or so. Yeah, they've had some very interesting jazz records there, some rare stuff over the years. This is one I picked up there just out of the bins. This actually is a first pressing, but strangely Japanese, because yeah, most of these didn't come out in Japan in this series till you know, the mid 80s. But yeah, this one's from like 1967, Japanese press. I've talked about this before because of the Alan Shorter piece, Idiotus, which is fantastic, probably the highlight here. And yeah, as usual, the great artwork from Marty Rowling. Another great jazz title I picked up there years ago. This one on Strata East, Clifford Jordan, In the World. You know, this one has stayed in the collection over the years because of the track. Vienna, first track on side 1. Clifford Jordan composition, but featuring Don Cherry on trumpet. Yeah, to me, one of the finest sort of modal post-bop tracks ever. And Don Cherry is, you know, absolutely sublime on this. Yeah, if you don't know that track, Vienna, worth the price of admission. I remember, I think I paid like $100 for this record. I think it's like a promo and it's in mint condition. You know, nowadays this record goes for a lot, but yeah, it's got a promo stamp on there. It's not a white label, but that was a great find. Actually, that same day I picked this one up. In fact, I made a video that day that I picked these two up. Yeah, a record that's been talked about a fair amount and kind of a classic from the VC from, you know, years back. Pole by Besoms and Rizet. This is like the second pressing on Tapioca. The double LP. I know Dom has talked about this before, but a nice gatefold here. But yeah, essentially this is you know, sort of a very groove-oriented, experimental, like French krautrock record, for lack of a better word. You got Besoms on synths, an accordion, and guitar, and Rizet also on piano, synths, flute, trumpet, and vocals, and then great drummer Jackie Vander on drums, and then there's a saxophone, Alain Petit. It's from like 1973 or 4, something like that. Beautiful copy, like absolutely mint copy. Yeah, also paid a very fair price for this. You know, I don't know, probably about 6-7 years ago, whenever that was. Great one. This is a great recent find. This is something they posted on Instagram a few months back. Get stuck here. So I know Dom has talked about Phil Yost. This is Touchwood Stream. So kind of a incredible one-man project. Yeah, very hard to describe, but yeah, almost like an American version of Henri Texier, where you have this jazzy and jazz-influenced one-man project with overdubs and some, almost like a Baroque-ish element to some of what he's doing. I mean, I would imagine he was influenced by Bach and some of the composers of that era as well. But yeah, just a beautiful record, very hard to find. This was self-released on North Star out of Berkeley, California. His only other two releases that he had were on the Tacoma label. So yeah, I was really, really happy. Really one of my best finds of the year so far. There's this record that I've been kind of promoting among some of my VC friends. This is Chaz Smith with Nakadai. Chaz Smith, very interesting guy. Maybe I'll talk about him a little more in the future. I'm pretty sure he's California, maybe even LA based. Only put out a couple of records. This is the only thing he put on vinyl as a solo project. He's been fairly prolific, releasing a lot of music digitally and on CD over the last couple of decades. And mostly nowadays he pays the bills by composing movie. Not so much soundtracks, but more almost like I mean, it is music. It's almost like mood music, I would say, and especially for like horror films. I think he did all the music and sound effects for the Saw movies. Actually, and I found some very interesting videos online about how he built his own instruments. Almost like sound sculpture type stuff. Really fascinating stuff. And this, however, is really just him doing some very beautiful lap steel guitar. I think there's I think it's just him. So he's got vibes, marimba, hammered dulcimer, and pedal steel guitar. And then some chimes and bowed rods, and so sort of where he would kind of head, which was like building his own percussion type instruments. A great record, very cheap record too. If you can find that, it should be under $20 for sure. Another one that I was aware of but had never seen before, and I think famously this record has another cover that has like that gimmick cover that I think it's like an octagon shape that kind of folds out. Is hard to find because of just how difficult it was to sort of keep together. So I was happy to find this one, which is, I think it's from the same year. Just got a punch out here, but yeah, very clean copy. And actually the back cover is really cool with the op art thing going on. But yeah, this is music, the original soundtrack from the movie The Andromeda Strain, composed by Gil Mel, who's a very interesting guy. I know Stunty's talked about him a little bit. He's got a Blue Note record that I don't like at all, but is certainly interesting. This, however, is really top shelf, electronic, synth type music, some elements of like music concrete. I mean, it's really, really excellent. Pretty kind of amazing. That I don't think I've ever seen the movie, but I definitely want to check it out now. And I think it was a fairly mainstream movie at the time, so very cool that the music was so adventurous to go with it. That was not expensive. That was probably like $25. And then the last one I'll show here for favorite finds. This is something I found earlier this year. Volume 3 of the Vanguard box sets on Deutsche Grammophon. I forget the dates on these, to be honest. I think this is the third of 3. And obviously I'm sure a lot of you have seen sort of the artwork, and but yeah, this box I think in particular is probably the one that kind of wanted the most. So Stockhausen on that one. Kagel, another favorite of mine on this one. Luc Ferrari. Now I have that piece on one of the GRM French recordings. I'll have to see kind of what. I haven't listened to this version yet, but curious to check that out. Some American composers, Lucas Foss, Leger and Hiller, and Elliot Schwartz. Definitely some important names in the American avant-garde. I think all three of these guys, had ties to University of Illinois, University of Buffalo. I think all three of them sort of were in that circle. And then this last one, I think there's one more that I pulled. Can't remember now. Anyway. And then Ligeti on this one, Earl Brown, Wolf Rosenberg. So yeah, that was a nice find there that I got on some trade a few months back. So yeah, I'll leave you with some footage here. Hope everybody's well. And if you're in the area last week, to go to Glasshouse Records in Pomona. Take care, everyone.